let's see, for today, if you have blocks, great, you'll have an opportunity to use them. If you don't have any blocks, but you have some kind of chunky books, you can use those or leave it out completely. Nothing is mandatory. And, ooh,
I'll
ooh,
use,
those will work. Nice. A little bit of squish
yeah,
and height. I like
something.
it. Yeah. Yeah, and if you have a blanket or pillow or foamy cushion of some sort, that can come in handy too during the course of our practice. Um, let's start today in one of two positions. If child's pose is comfortable for your body, one option is start in child's pose. If just hearing me say that causes you stress, you might start out lying down with the knees bent and the feet flat on the mat. So you choose. If you want to make it look more child's pose-ish, then you can start with your knees hugged in, hands either on the legs or on the floor. And if child's pose is kind of sort of so-so and it's still early in the day for that, for hips and knees, sometimes I like to have extra lift underneath the hips. Because I find, especially when it's earlier in the day or haven't earlier in the practice, a rolled up blanket or even a yoga bolster or a block, whatever, can fill the space so that I can feel the support and my bum can sit on it and I don't feel like I have to hold myself in this position. Range the head and the neck and the arms, how you want to be. If your head is comfortably resting on the floor, great. If there's some space between your forehead and the mat, then you can choose to either leave the space there or you can make a pillow with your arms or a block or a blanket and fill up the space that way. The idea is that you're comfortable enough to linger here for a bit. And then I'm going to mute everybody. Know that with the current operating system, with the new update of Zoom, I will not be able to unmute you at the end of class like I usually do. You'll need to unmute yourself. I think they're trying to do security stuff. So for right now, everyone's muted. If you want to unmute yourself at the end, absolutely feel free. I would love to hear your voice. Just know that I cannot automatically unmute you once I've muted the group. You still have control over that. All right, so back to child's pose. We settle in and we breathe. Take a deep breath in. And through the mouth, let it go. Take another exaggerated breath in. And let it go. And notice what the breath feels like right now. That should be a little quieter. Notice what the breath feels like in the back body. And maybe, especially since this is the first child's pose of our practice, likely the first child's pose of your day, what does it feel like now? Notice how the body gets accustomed to the position. And if there is any shift or change in position, that your body needs to be more comfortable, feel free to do that. Now, while you're down here, let's take a side stretch. Walk the hands over to the right side, any amount. If you like, stack the left hand on top. And breathe. If the hands are stacked, notice if the chest rotated, if the rib cage rotated. And if it did, you might bring the left side of the rib cage down a little and the right side up a little. And walk to the other side. As you walk the hands to the left, if the right hand wants to stack on top, let it. And here, if the right hand is stacked on top, you might bring the right side of the rib cage down a little and lift the left side up a little so that your torso is horizontal as opposed to twisting. Just the side bend and feeling and breathing into the side bend. Walk the hands back to center. Walk the hands in, lift the hips up, and then roll the hips around. If there was something that you were sitting back on for child's pose, move it out of the way. Roll the hips, roll the shoulders. Reverse direction, same thing. When you're ready, exhale, lean back as if you were going to child's pose again, but touch the pose for a moment and then come back to hands and knees to tabletop. And do that again, glide back into your child's pose, and then inhale to tabletop. And just like that again, exhale, glide back into child's pose, and inhale to tabletop. The next time that you're in tabletop, let's take a bit of a slow approach at cat-cow. So it's a familiar movement to most folks, and we'll slow it down and start at the pelvis. So you're going to pull the tailbone down and pick the navel up and try to round. Oh, my upper back went too. You're going to try to tuck the tail first, lift the belly, lift the low back, then start to round the upper back, and then let the head slowly drop down. So you're in the Halloween cat position. Hold there, and our head will take us into the back bend. So start to lift the head to neutral, return the natural curve to the back of your neck, and then invite your upper back to join in that curve, and then your lower back to join in that curve, and then your bum lifts up a little as your pelvis tips forward. Let's do that again. We'll start from the bum, tucking the tail under, lifting the low back, but I'm trying to keep the back bend until the upper back takes its turn. And then the shoulders, and then the neck, and the head comes down. And I'll lead with the head going forward. And this should be more challenging than doing our regular cat-cow. Articulating the spine takes some very focused effort. And one more time. Let's lead with the head this time into the roundedness though. Curl the head down. Let the head hang. Lift the upper back. Spread the shoulder blades. Then lift the navel. Then tuck the tail. Now we'll go into the back bend with the bum first. Lift the bum, let the low back drop, and then the rib cage, and then the chest and the shoulders open, and the head looks slightly forward. Let's do that one more time, leading with the bum to go into the Halloween cat position. Tuck the tail, lift the navel, round the back. Gradually let the head come down. And to come into the back bend, the bum leads us. Lift the bum. Let the low back melt. Let the mid and upper back melt. Collarbones widen. Head looks slightly or a lot forward. And then any way you want, roll around. Lean back for a moment toward child's pose. Take the weight off the palms. You might come up to the fingertips as you stretch the arms. Breathe here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Ease your way back to our tabletop position, and we'll slowly lower ourselves down. You might walk your hands a bit forward. Slowly lower down onto your belly. And from here, hands alongside the chest, but very little weight on the hands. In fact, as we come up in just a moment, you might start out with almost zero weight on the hands. So as you inhale, hang on just a sec, let me back up. Zip up your belly and send your pubic bone down to your mat. Reach your legs back. Legs are really active. Now, your heart reaches forward, your head slowly lifts, and then your upper back follows your head, so it's like you're continuing the curve. Hands are resting on the mat or the floor, but they're not pushing, and then slowly lower down. Just like that, hands resting on the mat, but not pushing. Belly button's really active. Breath in and out. Now, the next time you come up, allow yourself to come up higher if you choose. It's always up to you, of course. So, as you come up a little higher, belly zips up. See how high you can come up with the hands not assisting, just resting. And then start to press into the hands and add a little extra lift, but the legs are active and the abs are active and it's really strong. And then slowly curl your way down. The next time you lift, see about coming to it's kind of like a knee push-up or a knee plank, but it's also kind of like a knee cobra. So think cobra, but use your abs a lot. Heel up slowly, chest lifts, start to press more with the hands gradually. Keep the belly drawing in and up. Lift up so that you're in a slightly back bendy knee push-up. And then slowly lower yourself down. And you might do that same thing one more time, or if you wish, leaving the tops of the feet on the mat. So this is not like up dog where we usually tuck our toes underneath. Leaving the tops of the feet on the mat and the legs really energized, you might choose to peel yourself up with straight legs. The choice is yours. Zip up the belly for everyone. peel the heart forward, lift as much as the back can lift without the hands helping, and then gradually the hands help more and more and more and more and more and more. And maybe you lift up here. And if it doesn't feel good to have the weight on the wrist, then keep the hands off the floor. Use this to strengthen the upper back instead. And slowly lower yourself down. And if you're happy doing one more, do one more. If you're done and you want to bend the knees and swing the feet a little side to side, do that. Plant the feet. Sit up, peel up. Gradually unpeel yourself if you're coming back down. And swing your legs side to side. So let's come, we're going to flip over after that. Flip over onto our backs for a moment. And bring the arms out wide to the sides. The knees are bent generously. And sometimes we do the knees side to side in a way that's just meant to unwind us. Our purpose right now is to do a twist to kind of balance out the back bend and really engage the abs as much as you can. Both shoulder blades stay on the mat the whole time. And as the knees go over toward one side, keep the legs really active so they're not sort of flopping around, they're not sliding around relative to each other. The legs are hugging in, and scoop the belly, pull the navel in, and then as you come back up through center, pull the navel down toward the mat. Check out your neck. Mine likes to overwork at that point, maybe yours does too. Go to the other side, wherever the other side is. Keep both shoulder blades down. If the backside shoulder blade comes up, you've gone too far. Pull the navel down as you come to center, up and over to the other side. And just like that, take your time. Going slowly really helps with the strength building aspect of this. And you decide how far you want to go. Make sure that as you go side to side, emphasize the ab work as you're moving. Do more with the low belly pulling down than you think is needed for the movement. As you visit each side one last time, return to the center, place the feet down, and windshield wiper the knees side to side. You might take the feet wide apart to give the thigh bones more room to move. Good. Return to center, walk the feet in. Hug the right knee in and stretch the left leg way out on your mat, way out. Left thigh bone pressing down, left heel pressing down. How long can this one leg get while the other knee bends into the chest? When you're ready, change sides. How long can the other leg get? Heel pressing down, thigh bone melting down. Breathing. Breathing in, breathing out. Bring both knees into the chest, rock over to any side, and turn yourself over so we're back in tabletop as our starting position once again. From our tabletop, shift forward with the hands and slowly lower your belly onto the mat. So again, you have the option. If you want no weight on the hands at all, you can do no weight on the hands and do the It's like baby cobra, and it's like another pose we call shalabhasana. Shalabhasana is usually whenever we have the hands up off the mat. But you can do no weight on the hands or a little weight on the hands. And then bring the hands alongside the chest. Tuck the toes underneath. Knee push-up. Zip up the belly, long spine. Peel yourself gradually up. And then lift your hips. Tuck the toes underneath. And let's come to downward facing dog. And in this down dog, find your way there. Feet on the mat, hips high. Breathe. You might take a moment to pedal the feet. Say hello to the body here. And then settle into your downward facing dog. And let's intentionally make a little bit shorter down dog than usual. So you can feel the heels reaching down a bit extra. Now we'll roll ourselves kind of like we did that rolling wave of the spine in our cat-cow. We'll do that again here. So as we shift forward, I'm really trying to tuck my tail underneath. Probably doesn't look like it because my low back arches a lot in the back bend direction. But I'm really trying to pull my belly button up and tuck the tail. And as I shift forward toward a push-up, I'm rounding my back. Now, if this doesn't feel appropriate for you today, you can do the cat-cow rolling up and down the spine like we just did. And then as you come back, same kind of idea. I'm going to round my upper back, round my lower back, and then press back into down dog. Holy moly, that was a lot of work. Let's do 2 more. I think that'll be enough. Lift the belly, round the back. Come forward, either onto the knees or into your plank. Top of a push-up with a little bit of rounded spine, and then we go the other way. Lift and curl the back. We're back in down dog. One more time. Tuck the tail, lift the navel, round the upper back, round the shoulders, plank or cat. And then lift the hips and curl yourself back. When you're ready, lower the knees. Take the knees wider, the big toes closer, and child's pose. Breathe here. Relax the arms, the shoulders, the neck, the head, the jaw. From your child's pose, come up a little bit. Turn your left palm to the sky and dive your left arm through. So you're on your left shoulder, left side of your head. A bit of a twist. This time we have the hips further down than they usually are in the shoulder thread the needle position. So this is more like a thread the child's pose, if you will. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Slowly press the floor away. And we'll go to the other side. Dive the left arm through, come to the shoulder, whatever arm you haven't done yet. Breathe. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Gently walk yourself back. As you come back to hands and knees, organize yourself, tuck the toes underneath, and lift into downward facing dog once again. Tabletop or hands and knees is another option if you prefer that today. Press the hands evenly and see if you can keep fairly equal pressure in the hands Hips lifting up and back. Raise your right leg up and back behind you. And then pull your knee in towards your chest, straight in, shift a little forward. Come back again with the leg, pressing into both hands. Pull the knee towards your right arm. Come back again. Bring the knee across to the other arm, a little twist here. Pull the belly in, up and back. That was lovely. This time, step the foot all the way through and lightly lower your back knee. Breathe here. Front shin, the right shin is roughly vertical. Bring your left hand down. Now, if you got the space to bring your left forearm down, do it. If you're like, yeah, that's not happening today. And then do the other forearm. See if you can bring the right forearm down. Ooh, that's interesting in there today. Good. Come back over to the left hand, not forearm. Turn this into a twist, a low lunging twist. Right hand on the right thigh. Turn your chest toward the bent knee. Reach the top arm up to the sky if you like. Definitely breathe. Unwind. Step the foot back. Either hands and knees, do a little cat-cow, or tuck the toes under and come to down dog. Wriggle around in down dog for a moment, and then settle into either tabletop or downward facing dog. Bring the attention to the other leg. Take the left leg up and back. Pull the knee toward the chest. Take the leg up and back again. Pull the knee to the outside arm. Take the leg up and back. Remember, you can do this on the hands and knees as well. Pull the knee to the opposite arm. Twisting. Leg goes up and back. And this time we step all the way through. Help the foot if it gets stuck along the way. Scooch and wriggle it. Bring the back knee down. And with the, thank you, Katie. This would be a really great time to use blocks that I have not mentioned at all since we started. You can have your hands on blocks. It brings the floor up higher. So not mandatory, but something that you might want to do. All right, so now that the left foot is up in front, we're going to start by bringing the right forearm as close to the mat as possible. You might rest the forearm on the mat. You might simply bend the elbow. Then switch the hands. Now it's the same forearm as the front leg. Forearms coming down toward the floor. Might touch the floor, might not. Breathe here. Yeah, this is like low and deep. Now come back up. We're on the right hand. Take the left hand to the left thigh. Long spine and twist. Breathe while you're here in your low twist. Press into the front foot so that right hand, even though it's part of your support, it's not pressing as much as the leg. The leg is working more. Raise the top arm. Spread the arms out wide, like you're pushing in two opposing directions at the same time. Breathe. Take another breath in and gently unwind. Take the leg back and you choose. You might take child's pose. You might take kneeling puppy, which is on the shins with the arms stretched out, or you might take downward facing dog. Whichever you choose, stay there for 5 breaths. And after your 5 breaths, gradually walk the hands and feet together so you're standing folded low in a forward bend. Yeah, you can hop up if you like. You can walk, you can scooch, you can wriggle, you can crawl. Any way that brings you to upright. And then once you're in the standing forward bend, let the knees bend. If it feels nice, hold the elbows, sway or nod the head. If it feels better to be less upside down, adjust according to what your body appreciates today. Release the arms. And we'll start out low, but heel toe the feet wider than shoulder width apart. Then bend the knees some, forearms rest lightly on the thighs. It's sort of a football huddle position. And then slowly straighten the legs more so the hips go up and the head and the arms release down towards your mat. And do that again, a slow bending of the knees, lowering of the hips toward a football huddle. If you want to lower the hips further into a lower squat, you can. It's not mandatory. Slowly straighten the legs, relax the arms, head, neck. And let's do one more, slowly down. The hips go as low as they want this time. Wherever your low is, stay there. Take 3 breaths. That's it. And zipping up the belly, slowly press the feet, lift the hips. And then nice and slowly come up. Once you're in the forward bend now, the upper body starts to come up. Press into your feet, zip up your belly. And once you're mostly upright, give your shoulders a roll. Bring the feet back in and give the legs a shake. Nice. From here, organize your feet so that they're parallel to each other. Lift the navel up, reach the tailbone down. Lengthen the crown of the head up toward the sky. Inhale, circle the arms out to the sides, up overhead. Exhale, fold down over your toes. Halfway up is an inhale. Fold back down on an exhale. And then up we go, press down to rise up. Inhale. Hands to the heart, exhale. One more time like that. Root down, reach up, inhale. Fold down low, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Back down low, exhale. Press the feet, come up tall, inhale. And hands to the heart, exhale. Let's add on to that. And if you have blocks handy, place them alongside your feet, just to the outside of your feet. And they can be low height, they can be medium height, they can be tall height. See what serves you as you fold down, what feels like it brings the floor to a comfortable height. And so as you stand between your blocks, belly button lifted, tailbone reaching down, sitting bones anchoring down. Inhale the arms out and up. We'll start the same way, but we'll stay low. Exhale, we fold down. Halfway up on an inhale. Bend the knees, press into the floor or your blocks, and step your left foot back, way back. Bring the knee low, slowly, lightly, I was gonna say lowly, slowly down, and then reach up in a low lunge. Zip up the belly, arms overhead. Breathe while you're here. Take the right hand to the right thigh and turn this into a side bend. If you're happy there, stay there. If you want to add a little more interest to the side bend, take the right hand and hold on to the left wrist. In all cases, breathe. Good. Come back to upright. Inhale. Bring the hands down to the blocks. So if it's an easy reach, bring the left hand all the way down to the floor. You can move the block. And turn this into a twist once again toward the bent knee. Opening the right arm up to the sky. Pressing the right foot down a lot. You can stay here if you want. Tuck the toes under on the back leg and raise the back knee. Breathe. 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 From here, unwind the twist. Lift the back knee. Rock forward and back. If you've got one block, have either 2 or 0, right? Rock forward and back. And as you come forward, now step up with the back leg. Come halfway up, take a breath in. Fold back down, breathe out. Hang there, breathe. Relax the neck. Stay there, breathe. And press into the feet, slowly come up to stand. Inhale, circle the arms over, right back down. Exhale, fold down. Bend the knees, touch your blocks or the floor outside your feet. And step your right leg back. Slowly lower the knee. Zip up the belly, press the left foot a lot. And raise the arms and the torso up overhead. Breathe while you're here. Now add a side bend. Left hand on the thigh, side bending over to the left. If you want to juice up the side bend a bit more, take your left hand and hold on to your right wrist. Definitely breathe. Come back to center, inhale. Bring the hands down, exhale. Right hand to either a block or the floor. We're getting ready for the twist now. Do you know what to expect because of side one in terms of position? You might place the left hand on the thigh, kind of get into position, get your twist, and then raise the arm. You can stay right there. You can raise the back knee if you like. Anchor the left heel a lot. You might imagine the hips getting a little lower, but the back thigh lifting a little higher. Draw the navel in. Take another breath here. And slowly unwind. If your back knee is down, raise it up. And then rock. Rock forward and back in your lunge until you rock up and step up in little steps or one big step. Stay here in your forward bend. Take a breath in. Come halfway up. Fold back down. Stay there low for a few breaths. Slowly come up. Press the feet down. Circle the arms up. Hands to the heart. Exhale. Release the arms. Roll your shoulders. Lift the shoulders, squeeze them up to the ears, lift the elbows, lift the wrists up high, flip the palms open and bring the arms down, shoulders, elbows, wrists. Root down into your feet. Inhale, shoulders lift, elbows lift, wrists curl up, flip open, and down. One more time. Shrug the shoulders up. Lift the elbows, lift the wrists. Open, and back down. Good. Let the shoulders roll around any way they want to. Reverse it. Release. So a different position. Turn your blocks to the tallest height. If you have a chair handy, sometimes a chair is an even better height. So I'm going to show, let me grab a chair here. I'm going to show first with a chair so that you see what I mean by the length and the spine, and then I'll show with the block. Both legs in this case are straight. My front foot is facing the chair. My back leg is turned out slightly, but not a lot. If it turns out a lot, then my pelvis has to turn with it. I want most of this pose to be facing forward. I'll zip up the belly and I'll lengthen the spine really long. I'm really working here to hug the outer hips in and to pull the belly in. And then my hands go to the chair, and I'm not trying to go down, but I'm going to see how firm I can make the legs and the hips and how long the spine can be. We'll do this, and then we'll do some other stuff. If you're using blocks, same idea. So this is where the lower we come, the more the hamstrings have an impact on what happens in our back. Now there may be other things going on, but in most cases the hamstrings will cause us to have to either bend the front knee or the spine will start to curl up. I would rather you bend the front knee a little and keep the spine long, but the abs on. All right, good. Right leg forward, left leg back. Zip up the belly, come forward with a long spine, and find a height that allows the spine to be long and neutral. If you're close, but it still feels like you're being curled in involuntarily into a fetal position, bend the front knee a little bit. See if that helps. Put a bit of your attention in the outer hips and hug them in towards your midline. Lengthen the back of your neck. Breathe while you're here. Now, zip up your belly and firm your legs so much that you can take your right hand and place it on your hip. Beautiful. Keep your spine really long and see if your chest is interested in turning to the right, toward the front leg. Breathe in, breathe out. If you're very happy here and you'd like to raise the right arm, the top arm, raise the arm. Otherwise, keep the hand on the hip. Definitely breathe. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Unwind. As you unwind, let's step the back foot in, but stay low. Bend the front knee, step forward, move the hips, bend the knees. Let yourself wriggle and roll a little in this forward bend. Then press into your feet and zip up your belly. The knees are bent as you come up. Take your time, we've been low for a bit. Press down, rise up, reach for the sky. Inhale. Hands to the heart. Exhale. Release. Change legs. Left foot in front, right leg behind. Establish the blueprint well before you add on. So the front foot is facing forward, the back leg is slightly turned out. Zip up the belly a lot. And as you start to hinge forward, I like to have the hands on the pelvis so I can feel the pelvis is coming with me. It's coming with the whole length of the spine. It's not staying behind. And then the hands come to the blocks. What height does this side benefit from? Can you feel the space across the front of the collarbones? Does it feel broad and open? If it feels like it's curling in and you're rounding, but you're not trying to round, add a little extra height under the hands. Or bend the front knee some. Put a bit of attention into the outer hips and hug them in. The muscles are firming in toward your midline. Legs are super active. Now the left hand goes to the left hip. Spine stays nice and long. Remember, twists really love length. Maybe your chest is interested in turning to the left and rotating to the left. Long spine, zipped up belly, connected feet. Remember, your feet and legs are doing most of the work. The bottom hand can press, but it's not a foot. The top hand can reach to the sky if you like. Spreading the arms wide. Breathing. Inhaling. Exhaling. When you're ready, unwind. Breathe. Let the knee bend, the front knee that is, and slowly step up. Little steps or a big step, come into a forward bend. If your blocks are in the way, move them, hang low for a moment. Breathe. Press into your feet. Slowly come up to stand. As you come to upright, circle the arms, inhale. Hands to the heart, exhale. And release the arms. Take the feet wide-ish. Both legs are straight, feet are wide, wider than a yoga mat, so stand sideways on your mat if that serves you. Root down into the feet, hug the muscles of the legs so much that it's almost like your quads are pulling your kneecaps up. And then slide your right hand down the right outer leg. Raise the left arm as if your left foot pressing down helps send your left arm into the air in a gentle side bend. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Reach up to the sky as you come to upright. Lower both arms, feet planted firmly. Slide the left hand down the pant leg and start to raise the right arm. The right foot is pushing as if it's driving the right arm up in the air. Establish a connection along that entire side and breathe. So it's not about side bending to see how far down you can go, but more to see how much space we can create. Reach the top arm straight up to the sky. Reach up. Return to center. Release the arms. Roll your shoulders and elbows. Let that go. Step your feet now even a little bit wider apart. Lunging side to side. So the feet face forward and we start to bend into one knee and then over into the other leg. Bending one knee as the other one straightens, bending the other. Now you decide how much bend, how wide the legs, so it works nicely for you. And after we do a few that are upright, let's start to go lower with the torso until your hands are at or near the floor. Now here you can use blocks again. Side to side. If you want to make this a more exaggerated movement, widen the feet further apart, lower the hips closer to the mat as you come down. Side to side. Now when your Hands are over on the right side. Stay there this time. Stay there, stay there. Walk the hands over to the left, left knee bends. Stay there, stay there. Maybe the hips are low, maybe the hips are higher. Definitely breathe. Now, come to neutral, where both knees are either bent or straight the same amount. Walk your hands to your right leg, somewhere on your right leg that's manageable to hold on to while you're standing here. If the feet feel too wide to be steady, bring them in a little bit. Now, while your hands are on your right leg, bend the other knee. So you're leaning now away, or leaning toward, rather, the bent knee. You can round your back, you can breathe. Come back to center. Walk the hands over to the left. Hands on the left leg. Lean back, bending the right knee. Just a different approach. Come back to center. Walk your hands to wherever it works for you. They can touch a block or they can touch the mat. The elbows can bend if you've got some extra space there for elbow bending. Let the head hang. Take a few breaths here. You might press the hands into the mat or the blocks and inhale, come halfway up. Exhale and fold back down again. Do that again. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold down. Stay right there. Walk the feet a little closer to each other. Press down and slowly come to upright. Press into your feet. Circle the arms. Inhale. Hands to the heart. Exhale. Release the arms. Good. Bring your feet in. Give your legs a little shake. Let's take one of our blocks, and if having a wall at your back serves you for balance, you can have a wall. You can also use a chair for the hand like we did in that other pose. So either, I'll show the chair version first. So the wall, if I were using the wall, I'd have a wall behind me so I can lean a bit back into it. The chair version is your right foot comes up toward your chair some, your hand goes into the chair, you turn the rest of your body sideways and raise the leg. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. You can leave the body there, you can add the top arm. When we come down, try to aim to come down the same way we came in. Same thing with a block or without a block. Right, if you've got a block, let's hold the block. And in that case, you'll bend the right knee, tiptoe in, and aim to have your block underneath your shoulder. If it's right next to your foot, it makes the base of the pose really narrow. The block is under your shoulder, your ankle is underneath its own hip. Shift your weight so you're mostly on that foot and hand. Turn the rest of your body sideways and raise the back leg. Add the top arm if you like. Most of all, breathe. Scoop the right buttock underneath. Scoop the buttock of the standing leg under and under and under and under. That's it. And to come out, bend the standing leg and slowly up and out. Shake the legs, move the feet, and we change sides. Place your support on the other side. If you're using a block, you might hold on to the block as we change. Bend the left knee, tiptoe forward. Remember, the block goes underneath the shoulder, or if your hand's on a chair, still the hand goes right below shoulder. Raise the back leg when you're ready. Definitely breathe. Scoop the left buttock underneath you. Raise the top arm if you want. Definitely breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. That's it. That's it. When you're ready, bend the standing leg, reach way back. Come back up to neutral. Once you're back in neutral, bring the feet closer, shake the legs out, pedal the feet. And let's, since we worked on that balance pose a bit, let's do one more round. Same pose, no funny business, nothing sneaky to add in here. So right foot forward, right hand with your block or to a chair. Place the right hand down, shoulder over hand, hip over ankle. Once that's placed, start to press into your foundation to rotate your chest sideways. Once your chest and torso are sideways, add the back leg. Breathe. Foot is flexed on the back leg. Scoop the buttock underneath of the standing leg. Use a wall if it's helpful. Definitely breathe. Top arm opens to the sky if you want. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lower the top arm, bend the standing leg, reach way back with the other foot. Come up to stand. Move your block to the other side or pivot. Left foot in front. Bend the knee, place your block, shoulder above wrist, above ankle. From here, start to press into your foundation, rotating your chest sideways, then raise the back leg. It's nice if you've got the foundation firm first, and then add the lifted leg. Then you can negotiate with how much that leg is willing to lift today. And then see what the top arm wants to do. Good. Zip up the belly and breathe and scoop the left buttock underneath, the standing leg buttock underneath. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And gently bring the top arm down, bend the standing leg and reach way back with the foot. Leave your block. We won't need it now. Come on up to stand. Turn to face forward. Ooh, bring your legs in. Shake your legs out. And let's take, for mobility purposes, a little circle or two of the knee. Circle one knee. Go the other way, same leg. Circle the other knee. Just a couple times in each direction. Go the other way. Let's have a seat. A well-deserved respite. As you sit, stretch your legs out in front of you. And we'll take a little bit of a backward lean. So this is especially helpful if the hamstrings are tight, because sometimes, like we talked about in that other standing pose, sometimes when we try to straighten the legs, the pelvis, because the hamstrings are attached there on the bottom of the pelvis, sometimes the straighter the legs get, the more the pelvis tucks under, because it's the hamstrings are directly pulling it under that way. So lean a little back, even if your hamstrings are super long, lean a little back. And then bend your, let's say bend your right knee. Plant your right foot. Keep a little bit of your backward lean. Your right hand might even walk further back behind you. Your left hand will go to the bent knee, so opposite hand to the knee. Now you can always choose, if it feels better for you, to switch that arrangement. So this is a more closed twist, if you will. I'm going to almost pin and smush my abdomen to the bent knee as I twist. But if that doesn't feel good, you can switch the hands and give yourself some room to breathe. So twist in the direction you choose to twist in, and then root down into your seat, lengthen your spine, broaden across your collarbones. Is the space across the front of your collarbones as wide as the space across your shoulder blades? Both sides open. Spine super long. And shoulders down away from the ears. Good. Lift the heart, melt the shoulders. Lift the heart, melt the shoulders. Unwind. Same leg, same knee, it stays bent, but it tips out to the side. If your body says, hey, I would really like something for that leg to rest on, grab a block or a cushion or a blanket as support. If it feels very comfortable, it's not so much whether the knee touches the floor or not, it's whether your joints are comfortable in this position. Once you've got that, turn so that your navel is looking at your straight leg, big toe. Sit super tall and then start to hinge forward. So this is another place where, right, as the hamstrings in the back of the straight leg might be pulling a lot at the bottom of your pelvis. So if you feel something right at the bottom of your butt cheek that feels like it's tugging, don't lean into that. That's where the tendons are. It does not have much, if any, stretch to give. Lean forward any amount, provided you're not feeling the stretch up in your butt. Long spine, relaxed shoulders. Take a few more breaths here in your own forward bend, your customized forward bend. Slowly walk your hands up and bring the knee in. Stretch your leg out. Now the other leg, we'll call it the left leg, but it's whatever leg hasn't been in this twisty position first. Left foot flat on the mat, knee is upright. Lean a little back first, and then decide which way you're twisting, toward the bent knee or away from it. In both cases, the spine is really long, the heart is open, and you can bring yourself more vertical if that works. If your pelvis can stay upright, go ahead and bring your spine to vertical. If your pelvis is tucked under, you might leave a little backward lean in the pose. Keep breathing here. If you like holding the leg with the forearm, do that. If you like hooking the elbow outside the thigh, do that. Root down with both sides of your bum, both sides of your seat, rooting down. Sometimes one side gets light, especially the more we twist. Keep it as even as you can. Unwind gently, and once you have unwound, let that knee tip out to the side. Support it if it would like some support. Sit tall, and just notice sometimes this position being vertical is a lot of stretch in your hamstrings. You may already be in the hamstring stretch. And if that's the case, you can stay right there. So keep conversing and listening to your body. And if you're coming forward, keep listening to where you feel sensation, especially in the back of the leg or in the low back. Aim for a general stretchy sensation. If there's something that feels sharp or zingy, back off. Muscles getting stretched don't tend to feel sharp and zingy. We use that as a general guideline. And then breathe. 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 Find your just right version of this forward fold. This side may require something different, may request something different. What serves you right here and right now. Slowly, slowly, slowly come up. Bring the knee in, stretch both legs out, lean back and swing the legs. Knees and thighs and toes swing in and out and in and out. And when you're ready, lie down on your back and hug your knees. Rock side to side gently. And cross the right ankle over the left thigh. And take a hip stretch of your choice. So, thread the needle is one that's very common, where you reach the hands through, right hand goes through the crossed legs and clasp behind the left thigh. That serves you great. But remember, the purpose is not can I grab my leg and reach through in a pretzel-like way. The purpose is stretching the hip. So assuming the right knee is the one that's crossed over the top, it's the right outer hip where we want to feel the stretch. Deep, deep, deep. Like underneath the glutes, but not in the joint. So if reaching through to the leg, to the back of the thigh, doesn't give you the hip stretch, try another way. One of my favorite options is to hold on to the right shin and lower the left foot. Then there's more control over the position of this leg. And you can bring the thigh way in close to the chest. You can cross it, take it across your midline some or back the other way, and really listen and feel for, oh, where do I get a good hip stretch? And for those of you with the stretchy hips that want to lean in a little more deeply, let's say you're doing thread the needle. Take your hands out and go over the shin and hold the thigh. That's not thigh, that's calf. Just another way to approach it. Take a few more breaths. And as we finish up this side, rock a little bit, roll, let the head move. If you've got one foot up in the air, rotate the ankle. Unwind gently, change sides. So all the things I said on the first side apply here. I'll touch a few of the key points. So if you're doing thread the needle, it's left ankle on top and reach through with the arms to clasp behind the right thigh. If you're doing that, make sure that there's space across the front of the shoulders and collarbones. And then check in. What's happening in the left outer hip? Is there a stretch there? If yes, great. Stay right there. Play your edge. If no, perhaps lower the Lower the bottom foot. Use the hands to adjust the position of the left shin and thigh. And lastly, if you want the extra version and your hamstrings say okay, you can release the reach through of the arms, take them over the shin toward the calf of the right leg. You might be getting the idea that there are a lot of different ways to approach this pose, and that is true. Notice what you are feeling and where the sensation is, and adjust according to that, not according to what kind of picture am I making with my limbs. When you turn the attention inward, notice the sensation in the body, make adjustments, and then go back in and listen again. We're building a sense of inner body awareness. When you're ready, unwind. Oh, I missed the rocking. So if you missed a moment of rocking and rolling your head and rotating your ankle, do that. And then when that is done, bend both knees and circle the knees. Take them around, move in the hip joint. Go the other way. And then what would your body appreciate right now? Maybe it wants to do happy baby. Maybe it also, or instead, would like to do a twist. Deep breath in and out. If you are exploring a twist, take a couple more breaths and then change sides. When you're ready, you'll return to center and hug the knees. If you're in the middle of something, finish that first. And then set up for Shavasana, your final resting pose. If you like something under the knees, have that. Or something soft for the head to rest on. And take the time to arrange the body in a way that feels comfortable for you today. Take a breath in and squeeze all the muscles. Exhale, let it go. Take another deep breath in and pause. And let it all go. Let the feet, legs, and gluteal muscles relax. Let the hands, arms, and shoulders melt. Let the belly rise and fall. Swallow and relax the throat and jaw. Let the whole body rest. Start deepening the breath. Gently turn the head to one side and then the other side. Move the hands and feet, wrists and ankles. As you're ready, inhale the arms overhead and take a great big morning stretch. And draw the knees in and rock gently over to one side. Take your time pressing up to seated. Let your head come up last. And once you arrive in an upright seated position, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lower the chin. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe and at ease. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you, thank you.